Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Sea Life 6. If this is your first time here at my channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so you are notified anytime I come out with a new video. So today I'm going to get right down into it, and we're going to be talking about the MasterBooks curriculum. Now, a lot of you know that I completely love Time for Learning. My son has been doing Time for Learning for over a year now, and I love every aspect of Time for Learning. It is great for someone who needs to homeschool and they're not looking to spend a ton of money because of the monthly subscription. For one child, it's around $19. I have three of my children on it, so it was around $50 a month for them to be doing things. My son flourished with Time for Learning. We were able to catch up on redoing second grade completely after I pulled him out last February and get him into third grade. Now, we still do Time for Learning. However, I really did want to try putting in a more workbook style curriculum kind of in the mix with it. Time for Learning does do worksheets, but I felt because of my son's language disability and he has a hard time reading, it just was too much for him and he was getting very frustrated with the worksheets. So last summer when I knew I was going to homeschool my son again, I decided to start looking around for different curriculums, different workbook curriculums. I went to a couple learning stores and I looked through their workbooks and I kind of found them just blah, just very blah. I didn't really like nothing that I was showing my son when we were going there really excited him to get learning and want to do it. And if you have a child, not just a child with disability, but if you have a child who just is not enjoying what they're learning, it's a fight to get them to do anything, whether they're at school or at home. It's a fight to get a kid to learn when they're not wanting to learn. So that's when I started looking around for different kind of curriculums. I've heard of a couple, but one that kept popping up over and over again with different YouTube families that I was watching, Instagram, just a bunch of different outlets, was a curriculum called MasterBooks curriculum. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer out there. This is a Christian-based curriculum. My family is a Christian family. We follow God's path. So if this is something that you're not comfortable with, you don't want to have a Christian-based curriculum, please feel free to end this video. I don't want to make you feel like this is something you have to sit through. I do want to put out there that this is a Christian-based curriculum. So going forward, my husband and I decided that we wanted to have more of a Christ curriculum with our children while we're learning. We wanted to really put the Word of God into something that we were doing, but not to the point to where they're learning solely about God 24/7 and they're not actually learning a curriculum, if that kind of makes sense. Because there were some curriculums where they were just doing the Bible all day, but I felt like the science and the math portion were kind of an afterthought, and I needed them to kind of go hand in hand and walk together. I needed to have a curriculum that was teaching about the Lord and then a curriculum that was also doing its job with teaching about the curriculum. They need to be able to do math. They need to be able to read. We need to have science involved in that. So I really was struggling with trying to find something that I felt did mesh really well. And then again came MasterBooks. So the book that I'm going to show you is their science book. And this book is recommended for children from 3rd to 6th grade. It's multi-levels depending on where your kid's at. Some children, 3rd grade, if they're advanced, they could probably do right through this book by themselves. Other children might need some help, which is why it's a multi-grade book. And when I was looking through online, what I loved about MasterBooks Online, pause for the cause, I am not getting paid for this. I should have put that at the very beginning, but this is not a paid ad. I am not getting kickbacks for this review. I'm just reviewing this because I'm using the curriculum myself. So back on track. This book, I like, one, I like how it's made. It's very, very well made. There's a couple of books when I went to the Learning Center, I pulled out the workbooks and they just felt like they were cheaply made. I'm like, why am I spending $50 on this workbook? And I feel like it's gonna fall apart. Very thin paper, you get none of that. Now, the great thing about MasterBooks, if you look online at masterbooks.com, is when you click on this, let's say you're looking to get more information on this, you can do a sample or a preview of what the book looks like. You can click on it and it'll pull up the pages for you. So you can see before you buy it what is inside of the book, so you know what you're purchasing, which I really love. I love the fact that no matter what book you're looking at for MasterBooks, you're able to click on it and kind of scroll through it and see what's inside the book before you purchase it. Another thing about MasterBooks is you have two options when you're purchasing your curriculum book. You can purchase a ebook to where it downloads to your computer and you have the download of the entire textbook, or you can purchase the actual book. So because I was just starting out and I didn't know how I was going to like the curriculum, I personally just bought the book first. Now that I really, really enjoy the curriculum, I'm probably going to go back and purchase the ebook. That way I can just print out and reprint things that I need, because I'm going to be using this with multiple children now. My oldest, I love it so much, I'm going to be trickling it down with my younger children. So if I just open up to a page right here, I love how the chapters are laid out. I love how, words to know over here so you can look things up beforehand. It's just a very, very well laid out, well thought out book. I feel like the chapters are not overly long, so it doesn't feel almost anxiety-like to children. I feel like when I was in high school, I know a lot of my own personal hate, because I also was dyslexic, as my two children are. My two oldest children are dyslexic. It was really hard for me with reading because of my dyslexia, and I hated school. I'm just going to say I hated school. It was a horrible, horrible experience for me, and I didn't really like school until I started, doing college on my own, and I was able to kind of pick and choose the classes that I did, just because I would get so anxious when I saw a chapter about having to read such a big chapter for every single class that I needed. That's where my anxiety came in, because I was never a good reader. Now I love reading. I thrive reading. I will rather read a book or listen to an audiobook than I actually watch TV. And you on Facebook or Instagram, people are asking, what's your Netflix, recommendation? I never have recommendations because I don't watch TV. I would rather read a book or listen to a book or kind of scroll through YouTube and watch some YouTube videos than actually watch TV. Not saying anything's wrong with that, but that's where I am personally, but it took me a long time to get there. So being able to have short chapters that are not overwhelming is a huge thing for this. I also want to point out, so this is the textbook. Now it comes with a teacher's guide. So if you're buying this, you're getting the teacher's guide with it. The teacher's guide is going to tell you, this is for science, it's going to tell you what you need for the weekly science class, because there's going to be activities in here because it is science that you're going to have to do. It gives you supply lists. It also has the worksheets in here for your child to do. So like I said, I'm going to go back and be getting more workbooks. I can keep this one textbook, and now I can go back and buy more of the teacher's guides, workbook style stuff on the ebooks, and just print them out for my next group of kids. I also love, now if you'll notice that the workbooks have hole punches. Now for these, you can every day tear out your child's workbook and put them in a binder for them. For my son, my older son, I keep all of his stuff for the week in his binder. He picked out this binder. It was his big boy binder. He loves this so much. And I divided it up into all his classes that he takes. Now, at the beginning of the week, I'm having stuff all over the table. At the beginning of each week, I take out an entire week's worth of stuff and I put it in the binder. So that way we have all of our assignments ready to go. And like I said, you can see I take them out of the workbook. Now, you can either tear everything out of the workbook each week, or you can do what I and many other moms from MasterBooks do, right? Moms, families, is you can take them to a Staples or a FedEx, and you can have them cut the binding right here off to where now you have your entire workbook in a binder. So this is my son's, which I like to call his theology book. And the entire book now is in the binder. So what I do each week is I take everything on Friday after we've completed our work, and I put it back in the workbook where it belongs, and then I grab the next 5 days or 6 days or however long you want to have your children work. If you want them doing something 7 days a week, you can have 7 days a week in here. If you want 4 days a week, you can do 4 days a week in here. You take those pages out and you put them in a binder, and this is just a great way to keep track of everything. If you're like me and you like a seamless line, you'll want to go get the binding cut off the back of it. So that's a little trick that I learned from MasterBook Mom community. The MasterBooks has a great app just for the MasterBook community, and it's a social media platform basically just for MasterBooks. So you can always go on there and find inspirations and things of how to store things. So that's what I'm doing right now for my first couple of months, is putting the workbook in this binder and then my kid stuff in his binder over here. But like I said, I'm just really, really loving how they have laid everything out. I also really like with the worksheets is each course, reading, writing, math, those kinds of things, it's only really one page you have to do of work. So his theology stuff. Up here, circle day 3, and it's one paper that you have to do. This is really, really life-changing for me. My son, like I said, gets overwhelmed very easily. He gets very anxious when he does his work. So him looking at the textbook at first, it was, no, no, no. And once I calmed him down and was able to show him, look, bud, you only have to do, let's see, for math. You only have to do this front page for math. That's it. We do our time for learning just to have our computer skills up, and because I just love how time for learning can help explain things, because I'm not the best person at explaining things. So I kind of I go back and forth with it. I have him do some activities on time for learning, and then when it's worksheet time, I have him do worksheets. But the great thing is it's not pages and pages and pages of work. It's one page of work. Now, if we were in high school, because I've never done the high school curriculum or the middle school curriculum, it's probably going to be more of a workload. But right now, for him as a 3rd grader, this is amazing. He does it, and when he can do it fast, he's like, all right, Mom, I did it, I finished, and he enjoys learning so much because of this. So much. So day 12 is here, day 13 is on the back. And you're doing just enough to get your child to learn, but you're not overwhelming them. And I really think, I know I've probably said it now 3 times, that's just the best part about all of this. You have so many different courses you can choose from. You can do the math, you can do the reading, you can do U.S. history. Oh, let me grab that book real quick. I'm actually starting him this year on U.S. history, and he is loving how we're learning about American history right now. And this is the textbooks for it. And we sit here and we read together. Like I said, chapters are very, very small. Lots of pictures, very, very colorful pictures. I mean, this to me is very comparison to actual textbooks at school, which can cost $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 if your kid is at school and they lose that textbook and you have to pay for the textbook. Textbooks are very expensive. These are not expensive textbooks at all. So here we go. We go from chapter 1, and it says to go to page 15 to where chapter 2 is. Chapter 2. But it's not all words. We have pictures. This one's talking about Native Americans, which is what we're learning about right now. The map. And then here's wording. But out of those pages, there isn't that much reading to do. So like I said, chapters are very, very small compared to a normal school textbook. So my kid is loving learning because he's not getting overloaded. I just lost my train of thought. We love learning. That's where we are right now. So if you have been looking to get into the MasterBooks curriculum, I highly, highly recommend it. If you have any questions about MasterBooks at all, please leave a comment below. For those who have seen my Time for Learning videos, I'm pretty good with answering questions. If I can't find something out, or if I don't know it myself, I will reach out to MasterBooks for you and ask them, because that's just kind of how I am. Because I love learning now. I love figuring things out. So I will be more than happy to help anyone who's looking at diving into this curriculum. I completely give this curriculum 5-star reviews. If you are looking for something that's a more gentle, that was the word I was looking for. It's a gentle approach to learning. And that's what my family really needs right now. It needs a more gentle approach. It doesn't need the down in your throat. This is the perfect curriculum if you're mixing and matching things. Like I said, we're still doing Time for Learning, and now we're doing workbook things. So it's really great that Time for Learning and where the workbook is really kind of going hand in hand for me. So I can bounce things back and forth off of each other. And it's just been a blessing, really, in our family. So if you have any questions, please drop a comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help. Have yourself a great day and stay tuned for my next video.